Hello, my name is Alyssa Klein, and I'm here with
Becky Proquette.
And you teach kindergarten at my school. So we are going to be going over the consonant chart, and this is just the speech sounds in our language, and we're going to be organizing the consonants in those speech sounds.
Okay.
So the purpose of the consonant chart is just to serve as a visual tool to organize the speech sounds in our language. So a lot of times people have a hard time actually understanding each speech sound that they hear in a word because they all blend together. So this separates all of those individual sounds so that we can see them more clearly. It's helpful because it makes the speech sounds logical and organized rather than just randomly placed. And it also helps teachers correct when students mispronounce a word so they can see exactly what feature the students are messing up on and if they're similar with other speech sounds that they're messing up. It's organized the way that it is, so I'll just kind of bring this out. Up here we have the place of articulation, and here's our actual chart, and then here's our mirror that we'll be using. So up here we have place of articulation, and that's just going to show the different places that we make the sounds. So the first one is lips together. So lips together is obviously where we just have our lips together when we're saying that speech sound. So for instance, in M, I want you to look in the mirror and make the speech sound and see where your lips are there.
My lips are together.
Perfect. The next one is teeth on lips. So that is when our teeth is on our lips when we're talking. So in the word like, I meant the speech sound, can you say, and do you see where your lips are?
My teeth.
On your teeth. Next is tongue between teeth. So that's when we're going to say the speech sound like, if you want to see, perfect. And then we have tongue behind teeth, as in and then we have the tongue pulled back on the roof of your mouth. And so that would be in like, if you would see where your tongue is, it's back on the roof of your mouth.
Okay.
And then the back of your throat, like g or k.
G.
Good. And then we also have glottis. And this one is more, if you say the speech sound like an H, if you say that, if you notice, it's more towards the back of your throat, which is going to be what that flap is called, the glottis.
Okay.
So we are organizing the chart based on place of articulation, but also manner of articulation. So right here is stops, and stops are sounds that are like one puff of air. So if you were to say like b, as in B.
B.
Do you see how that sound stops? It doesn't continue like,
correct.
Like M, you could just continue it however long you want. Yes. So we have stops. We also have nasals, and that's where the voice, like in M or that's going to come out of your nose and your nasal. So if you plug your nose, can you make that sound?
I can.
Not really, not as real because it can't come out of your nasal. The next one is the fricatives. Fricatives are sounds that you make by pushing air through a small space in your mouth. So that would be as if you're pushing that air. Yep, you're pushing the air through the small space in your mouth. So that would be a fricative. And then affricates are kind of the same. They start like a stop though. So they're going to start like your voice is just stopping, but then it's going to go into a fricative, like ch. If you make that speech sound ch, you'll see that air is coming through a small area, but it starts like a stop. And then you have glides, where your mouth moves or glides quickly into the next vowel. So that would be like w. It's going to go right into the next vowel very quickly. And then the last one is liquids, so that's right here, and that's where the air is going to flow around your tongue, like in oh, if you want to make that L sound. Yes, good. So we are going to fill this in together, and we're going to start with, if you see stops is separated into unvoiced and voiced sounds.
Yes.
The voice sound is just going to be where that your vocal cords are vibrating. Okay. So in a sound, you would like b. That is going to be a voice sound. Can you feel where your vocal cords are vibrating? Yep. Yes. So we're going to start with lips together and stops. Okay. So this would be like the b. It's separated into voiced and unvoiced. So here you would have, you can unvoiced. There are two sounds here. They're grouped together, b and p. So which one would you say uses that vocal cord vibration? B. So then you're going to put that under voice, and you're going to put them in between two dashes. So you'll do b and put them in between two dashes.
Oh, okay.
And then you're going to go into which one is unvoiced there. P. So then you'll put that P in between the two dashes. Good job. And then we're going to go on to teeth on lip. There is none for this one, so we're going to skip. There is no other until we get to tongue behind teeth.
Okay.
So now we're in tongue behind teeth, and I want you to sort them between unvoiced and voiced.
Okay.
The two sounds are that D sound and the T sound. So D and
Duh.
T.
So duh is voiced
Perfect.
and tuh is unvoiced.
Good job. And then we're going to go into the back of mouth. So we're going to do this again, but with the G and K. And then you'll separate them into voiced and unvoiced.
Okay. G, K. So K is unvoiced
Mm-hmm.
and G is voiced.
So now we're going to move into nasals, and I'm going to give you a sound, and you're going to put it into either lips together, teeth on lip. You're going to put it in the place of articulation.
Okay.
We're going to try. All right, so the first one is going to be, let's trick you.
Wait, that's an easy one.
No. Look at my lips. Look at my lips in the mirror. Ready?
Oh.
So where's the place of articulation there?
Tongue. Tongue behind teeth.
Yes, so you're going to put the N sound there. Good. And
Got
notice how this isn't unvoiced and voiced because
Got
we
it.
don't have those two. It's
Got
not
it.
grouped together. The next one is The M. Which one is that?
Lips together.
Yes. All right, good. You can stop the video now because then
Oh.
we'll finish this chart. All right, now that we worked through this whole chart and finished it up, as a kindergarten teacher, how do you think that this would influence your classroom practice? After looking through all of these sounds, and like I said, it's not the actual alphabetic symbols that we use, how would this influence your practice as a kindergarten teacher?
Well, as a kindergarten teacher in the past, sometimes you would do one letter at a time. I also taught preschool, so we would do one letter at a time. I think it's lovely to be able to organize them so that children know where their mouth is and their tongue is as they learn the letters and the letter sounds. And that also will help them to distinguish between them. They will love feeling their vocal cords and not feeling them for P.
Yeah.
They will love that.
I also think the mirror's cool because one thing I learned through this is like the B and P, they're the same exact letter
Right.
sounds except for the fact that one's unvoiced and one's not voiced. And I thought that was really cool. Also seeing if they're having trouble with those two letters, you're seeing it's because they're struggling with either the lips together or that stop sound.
Right,
And
but
you
as
can
soon
kind of
as they
sense
know
that
that,
pattern.
they'll be amazingly able to do such a thing. And they'll learn where your tongue is. They can also help each other, which
Yeah.
is really nice, especially when you have the mirror. And they can look in the mirror and say, okay, your tongue is supposed to be behind your teeth.
Yes.
They'll be able to tell their
Yeah.
friends.
And the mirror was right here in the mirror.
Yep, that was perfect.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr.
You're so
Quet.
welcome.